Hi, everyone. Welcome to American Firearms Network. We hope you're all doing well out there. And today's show is going to be So You Just Don't Have the Time. That's the title. And why is this the title? Because I've been talking to Instructor Paul, and there's so many people out there, even our students, that just say they don't have the time to train or go to the range.
Yeah.
They don't have the desire to practice. They realize that a firearm is important, though, to protect their life and the life of their loved ones. But they're saying, Todd, listen, I understand. I can shoot. Trust me. When there's a situation, I can pull my gun out and I'll shoot and I'll get that person, whatever, and on and on and on. And they just don't realize, right? They don't realize that just because you have a gun doesn't mean you're hitting the target. For those of you who shoot, you know that.
Yeah.
You know that to be true, right?
Yeah.
Just because you have a gun and you're aiming at a target doesn't mean you're going to hit that target unless you train. We talk about this in a lot of our videos. The same lines come out of my mouth, but it's so true. So, what do you say to people who don't want to train, or who we've given lessons to, who we know, and don't want to take any more lessons? And there's so many people who just have never even taken a lesson before. They might have done the CCW and that's it. You know, what is your advice? What are your thoughts?
It's hard to really kind of push people to do things they don't want to do, Todd. I always say the bare minimum is the 4 universal safety rules. You've got to find out what they are. You've got to know those. That's the basic thing you need to know. If you have a firearm and you have no intentions of going to an instructor, no intentions of going to the range 3 or 4 times for the month, you need to know the basic
You know what?
universal safety rules.
Really, it's so true. If you don't want to do anything, you better master the safety rules, or don't even have a gun.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to go that extreme to you.
yeah,
Okay, what are the safety rules? I have the poster now. I'm not going to too lazy to turn the camera around. What is it? Treat all guns as though they are loaded. Never point your firearm at something that you're not, willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on target and you're ready to shoot. And always know your target, what's behind it, what's around it, and the surroundings of your target, right? We don't want to hit an innocent bystander or anything like that. So I agree. Safety rules. You can Google firearm safety rules. It's like the Bible.
yep,
Okay, the NRA, the USCCA, Rangemaster, they all have a little slight deviation, right? I think USCCA has 4, NRA has 3, I think, maybe, right? I'm not sure.
4 or
I think
5.
4, no, I think 4 and 3.
Mm.
And master those rules. You can Google it and they'll pop right up for you. But my opinion, you got to do something, all right? So if I can pick a few things that you can do, it'll be drawing from your holster. Okay, if you're carrying a firearm and you're not training at all, which I think is a major mistake. Okay, I don't think you should be carrying a gun if you're not going to train with it. But if you're out there and you're not going to train and you don't care what anyone has to say, practice drawing from your holster, drawing your gun, and trying to, push out and try to use your aim, your sights, and try to just get aim in a little bit and practice drawing from your holster. The other thing I would do is I would get in something I'm not thrilled about, but I would maybe get a laser on their gun. I know you're against it. I know I'm against it. I'm not 100% against it. I don't recommend the laser, okay? But if it can give you a 2 to 5% advantage for someone that's never going to train, I think I'd put a laser on the gun if I was not going to train.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 things I would do. It would be a laser and drawing from the holster and mastering the safety rules.
Yeah, I'm not in love with lasers. Todd knows that. I can't really believe though, Todd, that somebody could buy a gun and put it in the closet and never shoot it. At least the first time you're gonna want to shoot that gun.
Well,
At least one time.
they might shoot it one time, maybe, or whatever.
But it's a continuous training we're talking
People I
about.
speak to, they're carrying a gun. They haven't been to the range in years, Paul.
Yeah,
That's why we're doing this show. I'm shocked.
yeah.
I'm shocked that you can carry a gun and not train with it at all. Like, it's just, I cannot understand it. It's so dangerous. It's like, you know,
I had
you
a
don't-
guy. I had
yeah.
a guy who was training. He said he could shoot, and I took him to the range, indoor range, and first thing I want to see them loading a firearm and unloading it. And I always use the snap caps to start with. This guy was putting in the snap caps the wrong way, the magazine,
Right,
and
right.
I said, "Hold on, let's stop and let's do this together. Let me show you." And I showed him, and then he got it eventually. But people are a little naive; they don't know, and some of them don't want to know. They may go with a spouse, which is fine, or someone else that knows a little bit. I don't care who you go with, but you've got to be training with somebody. Like Todd says, that there's a lot of different scenarios that you can get yourself into trouble if you're not training, and that can occur. So it's important that you do your training, Todd.
Yeah.
I took a girl last week to the range, and she was real nervous. And one of the things that she said, what made her not be able to come to the range earlier, was she was nervous. She was really nervous. She didn't want to walk into a range on her own because she didn't know what she was doing. And then the stress of trying to find an instructor, it was really difficult. So there's a lot of other things why people don't train.
Well, and I'm sure you said this though. That's why you train. That's why you get instructed. Yeah, you're nervous, of course.
Yeah.
We're all nervous in the beginning, shooting a firearm. But as you do it more, it's like anything else. The more you practice it, you're going to get a little bit better each time. And I've had students who can't even release the magazine out of the gun. They don't even know what the latch is, for the magazine, or the slide latch of how to bring the slide forward,
Right.
or rack it back. And these people that are carrying guns on the streets, you know what I mean? It's insane. So anyway, that's my thoughts about, those are my two things that I would do.
Remember,
Three things.
I bought a brand new gun. I'm not going to mention the gun. We're not going to go on TV now and mention the gun. But I bought a brand new gun, spanking brand new gun, out of the packet. I took it to the range, and the thing jammed up on me. I couldn't get one round for the gun. Can you imagine if I never took that gun to the range and I just had that gun and hoping, God forbid, somebody comes in the house and I go to that firearm and I squeeze the trigger and nothing.
Well, now that's going to happen to people. If they, God forbid, they're ever in a situation. That's 100%.
That's why you've got
That
to go and train.
That can happen very, very easily.
Yeah.
But again, we try to push, and you try to push people to train. We talk about this all the time on all our shows. We talk about training nonstop every show.
Yeah.
But some people just don't have the time, and they don't want to do it. But there's got to be bare minimum stuff that you do. And if you're not willing to do the bare minimum, especially mastering the safety rules, you should memorize that, know that by heart. Okay? If you're not going to at least do the bare minimum, again, my thoughts drawing from the holster, practicing that, mastering the safety rules. If you want to get a laser, I think that could be a little bit helpful. All right? If you're not going to do some of these things, then you really should not have a gun.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. You really need to think carefully about a gun, because having a gun is a great responsibility. You're dealing with firearms that can cause some real bad things to happen, not just to you, but also to other people. So my advice is to get out there, train, and more training. Take care, and we'll see you again at the next show.